Meet Tom Cashman.
Hi, I'm Tom Cashman.
He's been navigating the cutthroat world of the Sydney rental market and recently found himself approved for an apartment. And what happened next will interest you.
I've had some pretty mixed experiences with landlords in the past, including one time where the landlord wanted $100 out of the bond because they found 4 ants in my kitchen. They said that was enough to constitute an infestation. I disagreed, so I thought this time I'd ask for something that I thought was pretty reasonable. Would the owner provide a landlord reference from a previous tenant? Cheers. Tom.
The real estate agent eventually wrote back.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Please clarify.
And then I got a little bit cheeky.
No worries. I was asking whether the owner would provide a reference written by a previous tenant of theirs recommending them as a landlord. I've found this is an effective way to find out if an owner is good to their tenants.
Unfortunately, the owner will not provide a reference as they are not in contact with a previous tenant.
So just to confirm, the owner doesn't have any previous tenants they could get in touch with to write a positive reference for them.
The owner does not wish to contact a previous tenant and it's not a requirement.
Just to clarify, we weren't actually in the same room during these emails.
Acting.
Most tenants, when they're going out and trying to find a new home, they face really severe competition. And that means that they have really limited ability to ask or demand anything extra from the landlord.
Now, if you thought the real estate agent would be totally fine with that exchange, then congratulations on having never dealt with a real estate agent in your life.
Dear Tom, we have received advice from you indicating that your application has been withdrawn.
Except I didn't request a withdrawal. They just withdrew me.
Reporting to the listing site that the person had withdrawn their application is pretty cheeky, and really it's probably a flaw there with the system because the person seeking a landlord reference was seen as too big a risk.
If I learned anything from these developments, it's that the power imbalance between landlords and tenants is huge. And while exchanges like mine are fine if you want to go viral on TikTok, they can cause a bit of a problem if you actually need somewhere to live.
But thankfully, at least for the time being, I have a roof over my head.
It is a big dressing room.
Yeah, exactly. It's bigger than the studio I got rejected for.
So that's what all that stuff was doing on the floor.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you are a bit annoying.
That's your takeaway. I'm changing lives here. I'm a champion of the people.
If I was that landlord, I'd be like,
Yeah.
who is this?
Totally.
I think he
But I
is.
think that's because it's currently not normal to request this. And that's why I would say to people at home, ask for a landlord reference. Probably not at the moment if you're in a situation where you really want the accommodation, because it is a pretty annoying request. But the more people that make the request, the less annoying it will become and the more normalised it
And
will
weirdly, the president of the Real Estate Institute of Australia, a guy called Hayden Groves,
Yes.
has supported you.
Yeah, and that's the organisation. He represents real estate agents. So I have never felt more vindicated in my life. I have resisted emailing Stephanie, the real estate agent, who rejected me, but I hope she sees this.
Please send her a link to this segment.
Exactly.